Hello! As you may or may not know, my name is Leos Garek and I host something called Genre Study, which is what you're watching today. Now, here in Genre Study, we study genres. You may already know this, but for the new boys who just started watching, might as well tell them. In today's episode, as you may or may not know, once again, from looking at the title, all it takes is just one glance, we will be talking about the genre Breakcore. Now, Breakcore is a genre that came to be in around the early to mid 1990s, when the genre hardcore techno, or if you want to be less specific, hardcore, was just starting to get very, very popular. In most prominently Europe, but in other parts of the world too. Now, Breakcore set itself apart from these other forms of techno, the subgenres of techno at this time, because of this specific genre's heavy, heavy, heavy use of drums. What what better evidence for this than, of course, the name itself being in reference to drum breaks, which is just a drummer solo if you want to be less specific again. Now, I've been talking about this use of drums. Let's wait no further. Let's listen to some of these examples of drums, shall we? So, as you can hear from both of these examples, drums are definitely a very important part of the genre and the songs that are in this genre. Well, of course, not every song in this genre, as you will hear later, includes the heavy use of drums. Most do, and I couldn't imagine this genre being around without its signature drums. If you want to be even more specific, and I know I've been saying some form of the word specific, but I just gotta say it again. If you want to be even more specific, the drum sample that is most commonly used and manipulated in most of these breakcore songs is the Amen break. The Amen break is a drum break widely used in even more genres than just breakcore. It comes from a song all the way back in 1969 titled Amen Brother, hence the name Amen Break, because it's the drum break of the song Amen Brother. I think you get it. This song being created by the soul group Winston's, and it goes a little something like this. Now, if this sounds any sort of familiar to you, you've probably heard it at some point or another. You've definitely heard it before. Like I said, once again, it is a very popular and common drum break that is used in music. Honestly, when I was looking at breakcore, I was kind of surprised that there was a connection to 60s soul music, but I guess at some point, maybe all music is technically connected. Anyhow, that's a different video. Just like breakcore's inspirations, breakcore has changed and branched out into other styles, like how some artists branched out into focusing on more complex drum programming, while others tended to stick with the traditional hardcore break beats. And some even decided to stick with the music's inspirations of darker genres such as heavy metal and industrial. It's also worth mentioning the use of samples. Specifically, anime samples seem to be the most common, but there are other samples, and I'll get into that later. But one of the most referenced anime in breakcore is that of Serial Experiments Lain.
どこにいたって人はつながっているのよ。
A lot of themes of modern breakcore are themes that can also be found in the aforementioned Serial Experiments Lain, like themes of how one perceives themselves and their own identity, what you perceive as your own reality, and just how both are presented. Both are presented really similarly, in my opinion at least. So, back into other types of sampling. Of course, they sample anime. I already mentioned that, but they also sample other music, live music, TV shows, films, and any other forms of media that I may have missed out on, please let me know. In fact, if you look at a Spotify playlist, I'll link it in the description, specifically titled Breakcore Ruined My Life, which, according to Zell and Bagel, is very accurate. And if you shuffle the songs, you will likely immediately run into a song using a clip of another show in it. For example, while writing this script, to prove my point, I shuffled the playlist, and sure enough, I got the song Spirit Gun by Golden Boy, which samples a clip from the English dub of Yu Yu Hakusho, Episode 2.
Can I fight a guy like that? Oh, of course, I'll punch him square in the nose. And then while he's stunned, I'll go for his eyeballs. I'll squeeze him till he's begging for mercy and see how he likes taking orders.
How can I fight a guy like that? Of course, I'll punch him square in the nose. And then while he's stunned, I'll go for his eyeballs. I'll squeeze him till he's begging for mercy and see how he likes taking orders.
And as I was looking through different samples, things, I ran into a song, and I was like, wow, that's pretty dark what this has sampled in it. So let's go over that real quickly. I won't go into too much detail, but maybe a warning. So skip to this timestamp if you don't want to hear about it, I guess. Catharsis is a song that was released in 2018 by the artist whose name I can't say because it has a no-no word in it, and YouTube would get very angry. So I'll just refer to her as Junko. This in particular song has sampled a clip of a man named Ricardo Lopez. Now, if this name sounds any type of familiar to you, he is the Bjork stalker. And the clip that was sampled is specifically his final video alive. And in this specific final video, he kicks his own bucket, I guess I could say, in the lightest way possible. Now, once I learned who the artist of this song was, I really wasn't surprised, because Junko has had her many fair shares of controversies over the time. And I'll only share this one for now, because I want to save more of those controversies for a potential video on her, so look out for a Junko video in the future that I do this, but I'd like to quickly glance over some popular artists of the genre, starting with the aforementioned Junko. Gorsh. Aphex Twin. And Venetian Snares. That last one is actually one of my favorite Breakcore songs. You should listen to it sometime if you like this genre. It's very somber and sad, and I'm a big fan of songs like that. But I digress. Now, of course, other EDM artists such as Skrillex and Camellia have also made Breakcore songs in the past, but unlike the four that I mentioned in the start of this footnote, it's not their primary genre that they focus on. They mostly do just other types of EDM, but they have made Breakcore in the past. It is worth mentioning. Alright, well, let's interject some of my own opinions into this. Why not? That might be fun. So, from what I've heard on my journey, I think that Breakcore is probably one of the hardest genres to get into. It is a very unique sound that some, like my father, may call an acquired taste. Now, Breakcore caters to a specific group of people who love songs with super fast and super hard drums. And I like super fast beats. But again, I like a lot of genres of music, so maybe don't take that from me. But unlike me, who listens to most if not all genres besides from country, a lot of people have specific tastes, and one of these specific tastes that I think a lot of people have is not liking the fast-paced beats and the constant beating down of the music, I guess you could say. Even I've heard that some people get headaches from this type of music, which I mean, I can see why. And for that reason, and a reason I'm going to cover more, is why breakcore isn't as popular, I think, as some other genres like hip-hop nowadays. So the themes are not very light-hearted, I guess. And the ways of presenting the songs and themes probably don't go well over with general audiences. Going back to that theme, for example, while the theme of being yourself in whatever song, I can't think of one right now, would go over very well with audiences, a modern breakcore theme such as Super Slide or Hopelessness definitely would not go over as well with general audiences. But if you can get over those themes and hurdles that would maybe turn you away from breakcore, I think it is a very unique genre, and it has this experimental industrial sound, and personally I'm a really big fan of that. So to get my final thoughts of the genre out of the way, I personally like it. On to the conclusion. I guess I've kind of run out of stuff to say, and that's perfectly okay, because I didn't want these videos to be something like 20 minutes or so. But, what did you think about the video? I know it was a bit unorganized, but I plan to do better in the future. This is only my first video, and I'm gonna learn what people like about this video and what they didn't like, and kind of get a general consensus for how I should do the next one. But, what are your thoughts on breakcore? Again, I personally like it, but maybe there's a huge detester of breakcore in the audience. If you are, let me know. I would love to see you guys comment and just show your opinions. But anyhow, as the Wheel of Genres has decided, if you don't know what that is, I'll put a photo on the screen right now. My next genre shall be blues. So, stay tuned until then. See you later.